All right, let's dive in. Today we're looking at a travel itinerary, something a little different.
Oh, fun. Where are we headed?
Sri Lanka? Sounds pretty amazing, right?
It does. Tell me more.
You're listening to the Sisterhood Travels Podcast. Join us as we explore the world, share empowering stories, and build lasting friendships. Adventure is out there, and sometimes it comes with extraordinary sisterhood.
So it's a women-only tour, really focused on, cultural immersion, not just the typical tourist stuff,
I'm intrigued.
I'm picturing myself, exploring Sri Lanka, really connecting with the culture, and meeting some incredible women along the way. That's the vibe I'm getting from this whole thing.
It definitely sounds like a unique experience, and that's what we're all about here, right? Unique travel experiences.
Exactly. So the website calls this trip an unforgettable adventure, one that'll leave you with memories to last a lifetime. I mean, who doesn't want that?
Right. And those taglines are usually just marketing fluff, but this itinerary actually seems to deliver.
It does. It really does. Before we get lost in all the details, though, what jumps out at you as the biggest draw?
The small group size, for sure. Only 12 women on the whole tour.
Oh, I see what you mean. That makes a big difference.
It does. It creates a much more intimate and personalized experience. You're not just one of 100 faces in a crowd.
Yeah, I get that. More like a close group of friends exploring together.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's get into some of what they call featured highlights.
Yeah, what caught your eye there?
Well, they seem to strike a good balance between, organized activities and free time, which I think is important.
Oh, definitely. You want the structure of a well-planned itinerary, but you also want the freedom to wander and discover on your own.
100%. Okay, so one of the first things they highlight is authentic engagement with local women. And honestly, that's what I'm most curious about. What does that actually look like on this tour?
So it seems like they've really made an effort to go beyond the surface level tourist interactions,
Right.
They're talking about meeting female entrepreneurs, visiting artisan workshops, and really having those conversations, getting those insights into the lives of Sri Lankan women.
So it's about truly understanding their experiences, their perspectives.
Yeah, fostering empathy and understanding, breaking down those cultural barriers.
That's powerful.
It is.
Okay, next up, we've got the UNESCO World Heritage Sites, part of the itinerary. And they're not messing around here. Sigiriya Rock Fortress, Dambulla Cave Temple, the ancient city of Polonnaruwa. I mean, this is serious history and culture.
And it's not just okay, here's the site, take your pictures, move along. They've actually woven in elements to make these places come alive.
I love that. So what are we talking about?
At Sigiriya, for example, you're not just climbing to the top for the view. You're learning about the history of the fortress, the stories behind the ancient frescoes, the cultural significance of the site.
Honestly, just reading about Sigiriya Rock Fortress gave me chills. Can you imagine experiencing that with a group of women who share that passion for history and culture?
It's about connecting with the past, feeling that energy,
Absolutely. And then there's the wildlife encounters, always a highlight.
Of course. They've got some good ones here.
Close encounters with elephants at the Udawalla Elephant Transit Home. Whale watching, hopefully spotting blue whales and dolphins. It's about those moments of awe, right?
Yeah.
Connecting with nature on a deeper level.
Exactly. And understanding the importance of conservation efforts while you're at it.
It's all connected. Now, I'm noticing they also emphasize opportunities for relaxation and reflection, which I appreciate.
Essential. You need those moments to process all the amazing experiences you're having. Just be present and soak it all in.
Picture this. You're sipping tea in the lush hills, enjoying a spa day, or just chilling on Bentota Beach.
Sounds like the perfect balance to me. Rejuvenation is key.
So we've got authentic cultural engagement, incredible historical sites, breathtaking wildlife, and time to relax and recharge. And that's just scratching the surface of this 15-day itinerary.
I'm ready to unpack it.
Me too. So let's start with the itinerary overview, shall we? What are some of the key destinations that stand out to you?
Well, they've really put together a diverse itinerary. I mean, you get a bit of everything. The city, the hill country, the coast, it's all in there.
It really is. Okay, so we kick things off in Colombo, the capital city. And I see they've built in some free time right at the start.
Yeah, I like that. Gives you a chance to get your bearings, explore a bit on your own. Plus, there's a welcome dinner with the group, get to know everyone.
Always good to break the ice early on. And then we're off to Kandy, the cultural heart of Sri Lanka, home to the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic. That's got to be something special.
Oh, absolutely. Kandy is steeped in history and tradition. And that temple, it's a major Buddhist pilgrimage site, a real glimpse into the spiritual side of Sri Lanka.
And I love that they've included a home-cooked lunch with the local family in Kandy. I mean, talk about authentic cultural immersion.
Totally.
Yeah.
Sharing a meal, hearing their stories, those are the kinds of experiences you remember forever.
Okay, next stop is Sigiriya, home to the iconic Sigiriya Rock Fortress. We talked about this earlier, but wow, what a sight.
Truly one of a kind. Climbing to the top of that rock, taking in those views, it's got to be breathtaking.
And like you said, they're not just having you climb it for the sake of it. You're learning about the history, the significance, everything that makes this place so special.
Exactly. It's about connecting with the place on a deeper level.
And speaking of connecting, while you're in Sigiriya, there's a hands-on Sri Lankan cooking class.
Oh, fun. Food is such a great way to experience a culture, isn't it?
Absolutely. So from Sigiriya, we head to Nuwara Eliya, famous for its tea plantations and those incredible landscapes.
Nuwara Eliya, totally different vibe. Cooler climate, lush green hills, waterfalls. It's like stepping into a postcard.
And of course, you can't go to Nuwara Eliya without having high tea at the Grand Hotel. It's a classic.
Soaking up that colonial charm, sipping tea, sounds like the perfect way to spend an afternoon.
All right, then it's on to Gali, a coastal city with a really fascinating mix of cultures, with that colonial past.
Yeah, Gali Fort is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, too. Lots to explore there. And I see they've included a women's empowerment workshop in Gali.
Yes, another example of how this tour is about more than just sightseeing.
Right. It's about engaging with the community, learning about the challenges and triumphs of women in Sri Lanka.
Really powerful stuff. And from Gali, you get to go whale watching in Marissa. Blue whales, dolphins. Fingers crossed.
Oh, that would be amazing. Such a special experience.
And then to wrap things up, some relaxation time with the beautiful beaches of Bintota.
A perfect ending. Time to unwind, reflect on all the incredible experiences you've had. Sounds like bliss.
This itinerary is seriously well-paced. Action, culture, relaxation. They've thought of everything.
They really have. And speaking of thinking of everything, let's talk about what's included in the trip. The nitty-gritty, what you're actually getting for your money, right? Transparency is key. And this tour really does lay it all out there. No hidden surprises.
I like that. So 14 nights, deluxe accommodations to start.
And these aren't just random hotels, They've chosen places that really add to the experience.
Oh, I see. Like each hotel has its own character, reflects the local culture in some way.
Exactly.
All right. And then there's food. 27 meals included. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, lots of opportunities to try all those delicious Sri Lankan dishes.
It's a culinary journey for sure. And like we talked about before, they've included a good mix of group meals and free meals, so you've got some flexibility there.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, what about transportation? That can be a bit of a headache in a new country.
Not on this trip. Private transportation throughout, all taken care of.
So comfortable, air-conditioned vehicles, no stressing about buses or taxis.
Nice. Exactly. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Love it. And of course, you've got your private tour director with you the whole time.
Yeah, a local expert to guide you, share insights, answer all your questions.
Makes such a difference having someone like that. Plus, there's a Sisterhood Travels group leader, specifically to build that camaraderie among the group.
That's so important on a trip like this. It's about the connections, the shared experiences.
Absolutely. And who doesn't love some Sisterhood Travel swag? A little something to remember the trip by. Okay, so we've covered the highlights, the itinerary, the inclusions. It all sounds pretty fantastic, but let's be practical here. What about a cost? And are there any other details people should be aware of?
Sure. So the tour is priced at $8,499 per person for double occupancy. And if you want a single room, it's $9,999.
Okay, that's important to know. And just to be clear, international airfare isn't included in that price, right?
That's right. You'll need to budget for your flight separately and make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months after your return date.
Passport, check. Anything else?
Yeah, you'll need to get an electronic travel authorization, or ETA, to enter Sri Lanka. But don't worry, it's a pretty straightforward online process. The tour website has all the info you need.
Perfect. Now, is there anything physically demanding about this tour? Just thinking about, different abilities and all that.
That's a good point. Yeah, there's a fair bit of walking involved, some uneven terrain, so it might not be suitable for everyone.
Good to know. All right, so to wrap things up, This is an incredible opportunity to experience Sri Lanka in a really unique and immersive way. You'll be surrounded by a supportive group of women. You'll have amazing experiences, create lasting memories. The value seems to go way beyond just the price tag.
Couldn't agree more. It's an investment in yourself and broadening your horizons.
Beautifully said. And as we finish this deep dive, I'm left with this image in my mind. Picture yourself standing atop Sigiriya Rock Fortress, taking in those breathtaking views, feeling the wind in your hair. You've shared incredible moments with your friends, tasted amazing food, immersed yourself in a vibrant culture. What would that feel like? How would that change you? Something to think about. Thanks for joining me on this journey, and until next time, keep exploring, keep connecting, and keep seeking out those unforgettable travel experiences.